Alright, welcome back to another weekend here at the Phantom Hangar. We got a few things going on today. Some things that got taken care of during the week. So both starters are installed back onto the engines, back on the accessory gearboxes, and have been safety wired in and inspected. And all the engine doors have been bolted back up, and those are good to go. So what we're prepping for there is we're gonna roll the jet out of the hangar to somewhere right behind me, not today, and we're gonna motor the engines to scavenge as much of the oil that's in there out and put that in the tank so we can drain the tank and then fill it with as much fresh oil as we can. And that way she's good to go for a good while until her next oil change. In order to do that, we need the Dash 60, the start cart, which is normally right there where that tug is, except for we needed that earlier in the week on Thursday, I believe. That got taken over to Lone Star because we had to launch out the A4, which I don't have any video for because I was working. Jet Jared probably does over on his channel because he's flying the Skyhawk in the, I think it's either Midland or Rose City. I don't remember which exact air show that it flew to, but it's here in Texas. And the airplane got flown over there on Thursday for the weekend, and she'll come back, I think, on Monday. I don't recall specifically, but yeah, that's where the A4 is. But that's also where the start cart is, so I gotta go fetch that. So I'm about to jump on this tug and go grab that. Also, something for you guys, something cool that I was able to participate in, is something called the High Alpha Hooligans podcast. And myself and another member that helped out with the F4E development with heat blur for DCS, that gentleman, his call sign is Vulture. He actually flew these back in the day and has a ton of stories and was able to share a lot of his operational experience in the development of the F4E. So both myself and him were guests on the High Alpha Hooligans podcast, which is coming out on Monday, so the day after this video comes out. So September 8th, 2025 is when that podcast will release, both on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. And I'll leave links to that, and I'll also do a community post whenever it releases. So something to look forward to, guys, if you guys are into podcasts. We had a great time recording that one. That was a lot of fun. So hope you guys enjoyed that. But in the meantime, I gotta get to work. I'm gonna get this tug, and we're gonna get over to Lone Star and go grab our start cart and bring it back. All right, here we go. I did see some airplanes over at Lone Star on the ramp, so I imagine we'll be able to catch some big round engines today. Looking forward to that. Well, we gotta get over there first. And we're here at Lone Star. Awesome. So these guys are opening the door for me so I can get the Dash 60 out, which is right there. And pushing. You can face it anyway. I'll just back up to it. Or if you point it that way, it makes it easier. A little further down on that. Yeah, there you go. It's heavy. There we go. You know the fun part is, this thing weighs about 3,000 pounds. Good Lord. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I'll just back up to it from there, it's no big deal. But we got airplanes coming in, so I can wait a minute. Yeah. Morning, morning, how you guys doing?
Good, how you doing?
Yeah, we gotta find out what's going on over there. That looks interesting. What's going on with the Cornell?
It's its birthday month.
It's his birthday month, really?
It's Fairchild's birthday month.
Really? How old?
100 years this year. Yeah, the company Fairchild. So we're celebrating today for the PT-19 and the F-24.
Cool.
We've got cupcakes and stuff coming too if you want one.
I like cupcakes.
What's your favorite color?
Chocolate. Hey, You learn something new every day. I had no idea this was Fairchild's birthday, the company that built those, and amongst other things like the A10 Warthog. Cool. Might have to stick around for a cupcake. Love the sound of a big round engine in the morning. All right, time to get this thing hitched up. Gotta close this. There's one, there's two. All right, with that, let's do that. Let's do this. Up, up, up. There it is. Nice. All right, that looks good. All right, so we're hitched up, but I gotta wait because taxiway is about to be occupied by a T6 Texan, so might as well wait. All right, so something interesting I've learned about these R1340s made by Pratt & Whitney on the T6 Texans is, you notice right here, there's a little fitting right there. Anytime one of these engines gets overhauled, that fitting has a depression in it that's just big enough to hold a standard American penny. And when the year that this gets overhauled is a penny that gets inserted into that depression there from the year that it was. That's kind of neat. So check this out. And that stays there until the next overhaul because it's wired in. It's kind of really neat thing that happens on these engines. Just grabbed a coffee. Now it's time to go back to get that starter cart back and uh-oh. Ooh. I don't think they'll miss just one, right? Mmm, yummy. Don't tell nobody I grabbed one. Anybody that's ever done this next step knows how difficult this can be by backing a 4-wheel trailer with a steering axle. This can get tricky. You want to guide me? Alright guys, as you can see behind me, we're back here at the F4 hangar, and all of the doors have been put back up, including the 2 auxiliary air doors been mounted back on their respective hydraulic rams. And the couple of the doors are only just pinned up in place, just in case we gotta drop them back down. But she's ready to go, so next weekend when we have more of the crew here, so we can safely take her out of the hangar, hook up the Dash 60 up to... the starter doors are right back behind me. But yeah, hook up the starter, the Dash 60, and motor over the engine so we can scavenge as much oil out of the engines and get it into the oil tank so we can drain as much of the old oil out as possible before we fill her full of fresh oil. So that's what we got going on. This is pretty much done for the day. That's pretty much all the tasking that we had, and we got the start cart back, got to see some big round engines, so we'll have some more good stuff for you guys next weekend. So until then, thank you guys for watching.